Queen Mary, a floating legend in Long Beach, California. Docked permanently in the harbor of Long Beach, California, the RMS Queen Mary is more than just an ocean liner. She is a monument to a golden era of transatlantic travel, a wartime survivor, and one of Southern California's most iconic landmarks. Since her retirement from sea duty in 1967, the Queen Mary has become a floating hotel, museum, and historic attraction, drawing visitors from around the world. Her story spans luxury, war, ghosts, and transformation, making the Queen Mary a vessel of living history. Origins and construction, a ship built to impress. The Queen Mary was conceived in the early 1930s by the Cunard Line, a major British shipping company, during a time of fierce competition in luxury ocean travel. The goal was to create a ship that could dominate the transatlantic route between Southampton and New York, combining speed, luxury, and size to rival German and French liners. Construction began in 1930 at the John Brown and Company shipyard in Clydebank, Scotland. However, due to the Great Depression, the project was halted for several years. It wasn't until a loan from the British government and a merger between Cunard and White Star Line of Titanic fame that the work resumed. The ship was launched on September 26, 1934, and named Queen Mary in honor of the wife of King George V. She was an engineering marvel of her time, over 1,000 feet long, weighing 81,000 tons, and capable of carrying more than 2,000 passengers and 1,000 crew. The ship boasted 5 dining areas, to swimming pools, a ballroom, a squash court, and even a small hospital. She was the epitome of elegance and engineering, embodying the peak of ocean liner luxury. The golden age of transatlantic travel. The Queen Mary's maiden voyage took place on May 27, 1936, and she quickly earned a reputation for speed and luxury. She and her rival, the SS Normandy, engaged in a battle for the Blue Riband, an unofficial honor for the fastest Atlantic crossing. In 1938, the Queen Mary claimed the title, crossing in just over 3 days. The ship became a favorite among celebrities, royalty, and world leaders. Passengers included Winston Churchill, Clark Gable, Elizabeth Taylor, Bob Hope, and even the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. For many, a voyage on the Queen Mary was not just a means of travel, it was an event, an experience steeped in glamour. World War II. The Grey Ghost. With the outbreak of World War II, the Queen Mary was transformed from luxury liner to warship. In 1939, she was repainted in navy gray, stripped of her lavish interiors, and converted into a troop ship capable of carrying up to 16,000 soldiers at a time. She became known as the Grey Ghost due to her color and speed, so fast she could outrun enemy submarines. The Queen Mary played a vital role in the war effort, transporting Allied troops across the globe, including between the United States, Europe, and Australia. It is estimated that she carried over 800,000 military personnel during the war and traveled more than 600,000 miles. After Germany surrendered in 1945, the ship helped bring war brides and their children to the United States in what was called the bride and baby voyages. Post-war service and retirement. Following the war, the Queen Mary was refurbished and returned to civilian service in 1947. However, the golden age of ocean liners was beginning to wane, thanks to the rise of commercial air travel. By the 1960s, maintaining such a massive ship became economically unfeasible. On September 19, 1967, Cunard announced the retirement of the Queen Mary. After completing her final transatlantic voyage, she arrived in Long Beach, California on December 9, 1967, where she was permanently docked and transformed into a floating hotel, museum, and attraction. Queen Mary in Long Beach, new life as a landmark. The city of Long Beach purchased the ship with the intent to boost tourism and revitalize the waterfront. Over time, the Queen Mary was transformed into a museum and hotel, with many of its original rooms and dining halls restored to their former glory. The Art Deco interiors, massive engine room, and decks are open for tour, offering a glimpse into 1930s luxury. In addition to historical tour, the Queen Mary has become a venue for weddings, events, and themed experiences. It's home to restaurants, bars, and even a haunted attraction. Haunted reputation, a ghost ship. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Queen Mary is her reputation for being haunted. Over the years, countless visitors and paranormal investigators have claimed to witness ghostly sightings and unexplained phenomena. Some of the most famous haunted spots include the first-class swimming pool, where ghostly children are said to appear. Room B340, reportedly one of the most haunted hotel rooms in America. The engine room, where a crewman is believed to have died and still roams. These ghost stories have earned the ship a spot on multiple most haunted places lists and have been featured on TV shows like Ghost Adventures and Most Haunted, Preservation Challenges, and The Future. Despite its iconic status, the Queen Mary has faced serious maintenance issues over the years. Structural decay, financial mismanagement, and poor upkeep have raised concerns about her future. At times, reports suggested the ship was at risk of sinking or becoming unsafe. However, as of recent years, restoration efforts have been underway with support from the city and private investors to preserve the ship as a historical landmark. There is renewed interest in turning the surrounding area into a vibrant waterfront district with the Queen Mary at its heart.
Conclusion: a timeless symbol of elegance and history, Queen Mary is more than just a retired ocean liner. She is a symbol of human ingenuity, resilience, and cultural history. From her glamorous voyages to wartime service, from haunted tales to modern-day tourism, the Queen Mary stands as a living museum and one of Long Beach's most beloved attractions. Whether visited for her elegance, her history, or her ghosts, the Queen Mary continues to capture imaginations and remains a treasured piece of both British maritime heritage and Southern California identity.